all these ladies and no Paul? Well, I'm in trouble.
Shouldn't you say you're the luckiest man around
Yeah, I am, actually.
instead of in trouble?
Well, I'm just saying, when Paul isn't here, it usually means that everyone else is just going to gang up on me. Because usually Paul does all the ganging up just on his own. But now all three of you have to fill in for Paul again and just gang up on me nonstop.
Well, I did think I saw some Triscuits over there, so...
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Threading and Dreading.
I forgot to eat my stale Triscuits to give me my superpowers.
Aren't you guys hilarious? Welcome back, everybody. And I know we've been gone for a little bit. We apologize for that. We've been trying to work out things with the new web hosting site that we've been on. Perhaps you're listening to us on perhaps you're listening to us on there, which is Podomatic. For those of you listening to us on Podomatic, welcome to Threading and Dreading. Hopefully you've been catching up on some of our old episodes. If this is your first one listening, welcome. And I'm going to go around the room and introduce everybody. And to my right, I have the 3-star Sapphire.
Hi.
How you doing, ma'am?
Doing good, doing good.
Good. She already finished her McFlurry.
Yes. It's not that I condone McDonald's explicitly, but...
Just the McFlurries.
Just McFlurry.
That's fine. And across from her we have...
Fangirl extraordinaire.
And how you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing good.
Good to have you back.
Thank
And you
you.
scared away Paul.
I know. The universe will implode if we're in the same podcast.
Because you're the
together.
same person.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
We're the same
And one of you is Batman,
No,
apparently.
no, not one of us.
You're
We
both
are
Batman. You are Batman, right.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
And next to her we have... okay, wait, we forgot. Every week it's a new nickname. This week it's,
Last time I was here was Justin McGee, so...
yeah. Well, no, we had something else before.
It's Pudge.
Oh, stop it! No! No, it was like Celestial Steed or something like
yeah,
that.
from Robot Unicorn Attack.
Yeah.
2.
I
think.
I'm calling you the girl next door until we come up with something new, okay?
Okay.
How you doing?
I'm just fabulous.
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 Can't talk, but
Yeah, it's all right.
Great.
It's because you've been poisoned by Triscuits.
She hasn't had any Triscuits recently.
Not today.
maybe that's the problem.
You have to keep your Triscuit input up.
The poison Triscuit input.
They're not poison. I'm not even addressing that anymore. Christ.
The reference is lost on me. I don't actually know.
Okay.
Okay, so let's explain this.
Oh, God.
A few times ago, Kim was a little hungry, so she was eating Mike's Triscuits. Well, he put the stale Triscuits on top of the good Triscuits.
Uh-huh. So there were 2 bags of Triscuits inside one box. You tricked me. Neither of them was full. They were both almost empty.
Oh.
I
he
was
put the stale
recycling
ones
a
on
box, so I took out the Triscuits and put them into another box.
And instead
Not
of
thinking it would be
tasting
that big a
them-
deal, and yet somehow we're still bringing this up.
Well, you know,
Well, it was-
typically you taste a Triscuit to make sure it's all right when you're repackaging.
Did you
Or
eat them?
at
No, stop.
You at least should let me know that the one on top is reduced fat Triscuits, and the bag beneath, which is hidden that I didn't even know about,
Were the
was
number good
regular.
ones?
Yeah,
Did you eat them?
because I thought that was I didn't
Oh
have
my
any other
God,
options. If I knew
whatever.
the bag was underneath, I would have eaten them.
And put the bad ones on the bottom for
Well,
you.
I only
Yes.
got original this time, okay? Is that fine?
We'll see.
Good Lord. How's everybody been?
Been good.
You good? Yeah. It's finally starting to warm up out there.
Oh, it was wicked hot today and
Yeah,
humid.
I mean, it's actually, what, going to hit like 91, 92 tomorrow?
What
It
does
was-
that mean?
Oh, you
In
go in Celsius.
Celsius.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
We're gonna
Um,
boil.
give me 1 minute.
It's gonna be 91
Hold on.
Celsius.
No, I think that's 28, 29 Celsius.
That's really hot.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's around there.
Yeah, I haven't gone around to converting to the more difficult way of doing
I
things
know. We
yet.
apologize for that. We Americans are all backwards.
Okay, so if it hits 90, it's 32 Celsius.
Oh my gosh, that's really hot.
So there we go.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Just wait for it.
So I wasn't far off. I was only a couple off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. My
Yeah, wait till it
metric
hits
isn't
like
that far off.
105 this 105, which is 40 and a half
you're gonna have
Celsius
fun.
this, over the summer.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, thank
For
the
all
Lord.
y'all that are
At
on
least-
Celsius.
Yeah.
At least there's like, it's not as humid as it would be, like back in Hong Kong. Whereas like,
It can be.
Have you
Yeah.
been here during
Humid.
the summer?
actually no.
Because it is so thick, you walk out and you just start sweating, and you're like, I think I need to shower, and I walk 10 feet to my car.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically how it is in Hong Kong, except people don't really have cars that often either, so you can't even walk to your car. You're walking to other places with not much air conditioning until you get inside a mall or a bus.
Well, that was the way it used to be back in, the 80s and 90s. Even before then, if you wanted air conditioning, you went and saw a movie, not because you wanted to see a movie, just so you could get air conditioning.
Yeah, because it would be really cold because your house would barely be keeping up.
Right,
because it's just
exactly.
like, we'll have days that are, I know we've had indexes up to 110.
Yes.
115.
Yes.
Which
It's
is what, like 43?
yeah. And all I can
Celsius?
say
Is
is
that-
thank the
42,
Lord
43?
that my the beach house has central air,
Oh, God.
because we used to only have
You had AC units.
we had 2 AC units. You remember that?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it was one in the family room and one in the master
bedroom. So that's why everyone was pleading to get the master bedroom, because they had one air conditioning unit all to themselves.
Yeah, because
while the rest of the house
the door
had
and be
one.
like, oh, thank God.
I know, it'd be like 60 degrees in there. People walk in, it's like, it's a refrigerator. It's like, it's glorious.
Yeah, I don't think even Hong Kong gets that hot, like up to the 40s. I don't think, like usually it's like high 30s.
You just wait.
So.
And by the way, for those of you who have stayed with this channel for a while, you know that every year we go on what we call just the beach trip. Well, this is going to be Karen's first beach trip. Yay! And I keep telling her she is not prepared for the shenanigans that will occur on the beach trip. And we're going to try and do a podcast while we're down there. Hopefully, I'm not going to bring down all our mics and everything. I'm just going to set up one central mic and we'll just chat, keep it simple. But whether or not we'll do that Thursday or Friday night when we're plastered, we'll see what happens.
I think it'd probably be better to do it Thursday night, the first night you're there, because that's always the night you guys.
Oh,
that we
and I
always
was telling that
drink
to Karen.
the
We
most.
always overdo it Thursday night, and
Oh,
then Friday
God.
night we don't. Friday night we're just like, okay, we're done already.
Yeah, and by overdo it, I mean like really seriously overdo it. Like we'll be like, dude, it's like 4 a.m. We should go to bed. Oh, we still got beer. There's plenty of flip cup to be
I
had.
know. We wake up next morning. Oh God, what did we do?
We're like, do we really need to get up right now?
And the next 2 nights it's just like, do we want to drink? No.
I don't think.
Let's play Kings with water. Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Oh man. But how's everybody been keeping? I'm sure that Karen doesn't want to talk about her work or anything,
No.
but
I say her thesis does not exist at this moment, I believe.
Yeah. I think
It
I
is
I
in
thought
this void that she doesn't want to see.
exactly. I thought we've been over this time and time again, Mike.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I do want to say real quick that I'm very appreciative for those of you who are listening on Podomatic for actually tuning in, and Kim rolls her eyes at me. Cheap plugs.
Automatic.
Yeah, because I was shocked at how quickly our viewership went up. Yeah, thank you everyone. I mean, I'm glad that we have a pretty decent fan base on that site now. And for all of you listening, thank you. All I can say is thank you. And hopefully we can continue to entertain you and provide commentary. How should I put this? Racist
relief?
commentary when Paul is here.
I don't think it's just limited.
That's why we've never been on the same podcast before.
Right, that's it. Because you two would come to fists.
Oh, I can see that.
I'm not sure who would win though.
I think Karen could take Paul.
He's a little frisky.
Yeah, but
I mean, she's a little frisky too, but little firecrackers.
I think Karen would just how would I put it? Outsquirrel him. She would just be quick and agile and just be bouncing around.
I'll be like, what is this?
Yeah, oh gosh.
When did the Flash get here?
So, has anyone seen anything recently? I mean, Kim and I saw 22 Jump Street last week, but
I was there
oh, that's
too.
right. You saw it.
Me
That's
and Robin
right.
were there too.
Oh, my God, I'm sorry. Oh, God, I'm
Wow.
sorry. I'm sorry.
You realize Mike talked about this like when I got here,
Did he mention Karen?
and Robin.
Oh.
I
As you
did.
guys all hung out. I was like, oh, cool.
That's right, and I forgot
then
that
he
quickly.
forgot.
I apologize, Karen.
Aw.
I'm a massive
okay.
failure.
No,
What?
don't say that.
Oh,
That
I
just
am.
makes me feel bad. You guys were just in your own little worlds.
They're probably making out the whole movie.
That's why you enjoyed it so much.
Karen, why'd you tell her? Has anyone been watching the World Cup?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Google changes its emblem all the
It
time.
does, and I think it's USA right now, right?
It is USA against Ghana. I completely forgot to DVR it. So,
It's all right. Well, we'll check the score after we're done recording.
Yeah.
I'm sorry
but
for.
no, it's fine. I just want to. It's USA versus Ghana, but like there have been a couple of, landslides which I guess weren't
Predicted.
predicted.
Well, Germany swept somebody.
Portugal today.
Yeah.
And
Wait,
then,
you talking about like metaphorically landslides in the games or physical landslides?
Well, I mean, it is
Yes.
It is Brazil. Anything can happen.
Landslides, as in one team creamed another team that wasn't.
Okay.
The team that won was not supposed to win. They were like basically,
Like,
you're
or at
gonna
least-
win this, and they're like, we lost.
or not win by at least that much because Germany beat Portugal by 4-0, I think, and then
France
then-
beat Honduras 3-0, right? I don't
Yeah,
remember what that. if
I'm
that was
not
supposed
sure
to
about
be
that
way.
score, but like because Portugal and Germany were supposed to be like top contenders in that group because it's Germany, Portugal, USA, and Ghana.
Which is a pretty rough group.
It is a really, especially for the States and Ghana, right?
Right.
But so now Portugal loses 4-0 to Germany. The U.S. kind of has more of a chance in that
Yay.
pool, and then the other upset, or at least the kind of the huge score gap was the Netherlands versus Spain. Spain
Oh,
lost
yes.
the Netherlands won 5-1.
Yeah, and who would like Spain's like a powerhouse.
Yeah,
Like,
so
who would have called that?
I-
I mean, by the way, I apologize for those of you who don't follow soccer. I usually don't.
Football.
But football. Sorry, for those of you who don't follow that sport. But
Actual
with the
football.
kicking at the ball, and
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
Not
Yeah.
American football.
I'm just teasing because
No,
I say
it's okay.
soccer a lot of the time.
Well, and we've talked about this before, but American soccer, or American football, if you will.
Wait, are we talking?
No.
Wait, no, because when
No,
we say
okay, sorry.
American
So,
football,
yeah, I really screwed that up. I apologize.
Yeah, you did.
It's soccer or American football. There you
Okay,
go. All right.
Yeah, let's go. Let's just go with that because then at least the terms are
Okay,
easier.
yes. In that sport, in America, it is classically not a competitive sport. And
Soccer?
Yes, because in America, it's the fifth string players who play soccer. The other four, because when you think about it, in America, the best athletes go into football, baseball, hockey, and basketball. Those are the
All
four
sports
main
I don't
sports.
watch. Oh, wait,
And
I don't
then
watch any
the
sports.
fifth string athletes, the ones that don't go into those four sports, go into soccer.
Which I mean, I don't know how you would define the good athletes or whatever because soccer takes a lot out of you. You're running on the pitch for 90 minutes.
Oh, I'm not saying it's
Like-
not an endurance test. Far from it. I'm just saying for those players who want to make the big bucks, for those players who want to be, in prime time, they go into those
but
four
that's
sports.
also really American centric as well because if you look, like if you wanted to go overseas, like to Europe to play soccer or where it would be football, you would make tons and tons of money, and that is like
Yeah,
I
but they
agree.
don't do They don't do American football though.
No.
They don't do American football, no.
That's classically the whole thing about
Yeah.
how Americans are raised in that sport. Not only that, but football is a very expensive sport. Excluding just, the ball. Think about all the pads and equipment that goes into football.
And
It's
they
the
still
same
get
almost to an
hurt.
extent with baseball. I mean, you can just play with a stick and a ball, but historically, soccer is the cheapest sport. You need a round ball, and then like 2 posts somewhere, and you can play soccer. You know?
4
4
posts.
posts.
Well, I'm saying you could play half a court.
You can't play half a court of soccer.
Oh,
4
it doesn't-
posts.
Yeah.
You would be
Okay,
fine.
okay, well, that you can figure it
That would
out.
get a little too confusing.
Anyway.
Because then you'd have 2 goalies and 1 goal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that-
okay, yeah,
Everyone's just sweating
that'd be
this
fun.
out.
That'd be
Would
fun.
not work quite well for somebody.
That'd be fun to watch.
Oh, it might be.
Half court basketball, yes. Half court soccer, no.
Yeah, nothing where you have a
Not even
defender
half
and a
court
goal.
hockey. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
anyway, so that's going on right now. For those of you following that, let us know what you think.
It's a good watch. People should follow it. It's,
I started following it in college.
Yeah.
Until then, I didn't follow it. But I when the World Cup is on, I will follow it.
yeah, I'm
So.
horrible. I only watch soccer when it's the World Cup.
Well, if there's nothing else to bring up, we might as well just get right into the movie news. And the first bit I have up is something that is kind of irking me, but I'll let you guys, share a little bit of commentary and see what you think about this. But Disney has not only confirmed that a Beauty and the Beast live action is on the way, but they did initially cast Guillermo del Toro to direct. But he is now, as of today, he's backed out because he wanted to just focus on producing and writing. So who they've gotten to direct, apparently, is Bill Condon. Now, do you know who that is?
Nope.
Nope.
Most recently, he directed the last 2 Twilight films.
Oh.
Now, to be fair, classically, that's not his repertoire of films. I mean, he did do Twilight, but he also did, for example, Gods and Monsters, as well as Dreamgirls.
Oh, okay.
Now, Dreamgirls actually won a decent amount of Academy Awards. So, this isn't a bad director. And when you think about it, when you have a guy like this who's already just come out of a series appealing to tweens, and now you're going into Beauty and the Beast, which again is probably going to appeal to a younger adult or to tweens or to kids, it's not a bad directing choice. Not only that, but apparently he's had some expertise with humans falling in love with non-humans. But
Humans in love with beasts. Check.
what?
Huh?
Did I lose you?
Yeah.
He's
What
had-
did he like?
Humans, vampires, humans, werewolves.
Oh.
Yeah.
Check.
See, stay with me. Stay with me.
Oh God.
The girl
That
next
was
door had a
just
long day of
awful.
work. Let her be. Don't pick on her.
I'm sorry.
Don't be a
Maybe you
mean
should just have
boyfriend.
better jokes.
Thanks.
Zing.
Now, there haven't been many casting choices yet. However, many. Oh lordy, they're gonna be picking on me all night, guys.
Not picking on you.
Anyway,
No
The
one
first-
ever picks on Mike.
the
no.
first casting choice is actually for Belle. They have chosen Emma Watson.
Belle.
Oh, Belle. And, sorry, when we say Belle, we think of another Belle, which is Robin and Karen's Belle.
The Bellinator.
The Bellinator.
She's a chocolate lab.
Yeah, she's a cutie.
She is.
But Emma Watson is Belle. What do you think?
She's gorgeous and
Good.
perfect in
She-
every way.
Be fine.
Yeah.
You-
I see
Oh,
no problems. with
sorry.
that.
What? Wait, are you a
Sis-
fangirl for
Sis
Emma
the
Watson?
fangirl.
I like Emma Watson a lot. I do.
Okay, now I bring this up because I know initially you had said that you didn't like a lot of the cast from Harry Potter a while
No,
back.
I don't like Daniel Radcliffe very much.
Okay, but you're okay with Emma Watson
I'm
and
okay with-
Rupert.
I love Rupert Grint.
Okay.
Like, I love Rupert Grint.
Funny story about him. Do you know that
He's
I've-
not married.
Well, not only.
He's also, I think, like
Thank you for that information.
2 years younger than I am.
Well, I wanted to say that apparently
That's still
I
legal,
don't know if there's
so.
any truth to the story.
I'm also engaged.
Oh right, there's that.
Oh yeah, there's that whole thing. You're
Love
sort of
you,
engaged.
Robin.
I was gonna say I don't know if there's any truth to the story or not, but apparently with all of the money that he's made from Harry Potter,
He bought an ice cream
he
truck.
he bought an ice cream truck.
I heard that
Goes to
too.
neighborhoods and just hands out free ice cream to
I
kids.
heard that.
I'm like,
Wait, does he hand out any free ice cream to adults?
maybe I don't know,
okay.
but I gotta say, okay,
He's
first
probably
off,
like, no, you're an adult.
How old are you? Where's your ID?
no, I have to say, first off, that's really cool. But how sinister would it be if he's like just macking on milfs or something? Like he's giving out candy to these kids.
Wow,
and
way to take that dirty.
Yeah, like no one thought of that.
First
Like,
time out. Did you just use two terms from like 1997?
Yes, I did.
I think he was going 1990s, early.
Okay.
Okay, anyway,
You know, like when he was 5.
I mean, I gotta assume
dear,
it's
no,
only a virtuous act that he's just trying to be a nice guy, and it's great. But someone could look at it and say, "You're just giving out free ice cream to kids," you know.
you're the only one in this room who actually went there.
Yeah, the rest of us were like, oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm the cynical asshole. I apologize.
Hey, I'm pretty
And
cynical
that's why
too.
he had
Wait,
the poison
but ma-
Triscuits.
Oh my God! What does that have to do with Triscuits?
Evil
Ugh.
cynicalness.
Good Lord.
You're never going to live down the Triscuits.
But anyway, so getting back to Beauty and the Beast. So again, Emma
Yes.
Watson has been confirmed as Belle, and there's actually a couple more up for readaptation because of how successful Maleficent was. We have a Cinderella coming out early 2015, and there's also a Jon Favreau directed Jungle Book coming out, and there is no release date for that one yet. And also Beauty and the Beast doesn't have a release date.
But they
But-
did a live-action Jungle Book.
Yes, it did back in '93. That had I think it was Brandon Lee who
I don't
played
remember.
I
Mowgli.
don't know. I
As
know.
well as a very young Lena Headey. She
Oh.
played the girl in it.
And
No, no.
Carrie Ellis.
Carrie Ells.
Oh.
It was
the jerky guy.
John Cleese as the father,
Oh.
and I can't remember too much else in the cast. But yeah, I liked that Jungle Book. I had fun with that, and
I don't remember watching it. I just remember they did it.
I'm pretty sure that was a Disney adaptation. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was from Disney. But
Did it have the bare necessities?
no, it didn't have the bare necessities.
It didn't have it then.
But this one's by Jon Favreau, who right now can't do any wrong. I mean, he's coming off all the Iron Man films. He recently made Chef, which I've heard really good things about. So hopefully that'll be good. And, you know, it's weird how Hollywood is just latching onto new adaptations of these classic stories. Like, that's the new it thing. Because Maleficent has hit its stride, and then Snow White and the Huntsman did fairly well. And you had movies like Mirror, Mirror, and even stuff like, as bad as it was, like Ella Enchanted and things like that.
I actually liked Ella Enchanted. It was just a feel-good, cute movie.
No, I wasn't a fan.
I didn't see it.
It wasn't very deep, but it was just one of those things that was just cute.
Right.
So, you know, what do you think about Hollywood latching on to these properties? You know, like, this is going to be the new thing about re-releasing these classic fairy tales.
At least they're not doing just new animated versions of them.
No, true. That's true. At least
That
they're not
is
going back
definitely
and
a
just
plus.
remaking, like, animation, you know, because that would just be lazy.
Yeah, like Lady and the Tramp 2, Cinderella 2, Cinderella 3.
Right.
Oh,
yeah,
like
keep having sequels.
Yeah, straight to
Yeah.
DVD stuff. Ugh.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on those.
But I think like it's becoming more prevalent now, but it's not something new. Like we said already, there was the Jungle Book from before.
93, right.
Yeah. So I don't know. It'll probably have like a wave and then it'll die down.
Mm-hmm.
And they've done multiple Cinderellas already.
Right, they have.
Yeah.
They did
Yeah.
the Brandy one.
Yeah.
Oh,
There was,
God, the
um,
Brandy one.
Ever
did
After
that-
with Drew
Yeah,
Barrymore.
Ever After. That's what I was.
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah,
think of.
Ever After. They did
Yeah.
the Cinderella stories with one with Hilary Duff,
Oh.
one
Yeah.
with
You just made
there
me
was
throw up in my
another
mouth.
one with that. There was like one after that too.
Yeah.
I tell you what,
So they've redone them. I mean, Ever After. I guess Ever After
was the first
and
one, right?
Brandy
Yeah.
were the two closest.
Was Ever After the only one that was actually like in like theaters, like a major like release?
I think
'Cause
you're
I
right.
thought Brandy was just like a TV.
It was.
Made for
No,
yeah,
a
the
Cinder-
other ones are
No,
a
they were
Cinder-
Disney Channel.
Yeah.
No, A Cinderella Story did have a major release. The sequel
Did
didn't,
it?
which was Selena Gomez. The sequel
Oh,
was
I didn't
straight
even
to
know
TV.
that existed.
Yeah, that's who was in the second one.
right.
Selena Gomez.
Now, that Brandy one, I remember watching that when we were, like 11 or 12 is when that
Yeah.
came out.
it was
I
just
didn't
a
see that
musical.
one.
Oh, God, that was like what every focus group said had to be in there. So you had a black Cinderella, and then her mother was white, And then for the prince, the
Her
mother...
one of her sisters was white. One of her sisters was black.
Right.
One
You mean the
was like
stepmom?
Yeah,
gangly.
stepmoms. Yeah, sorry. And then on the prince's side, the prince was Asian, and the parents were black and white.
Yeah, because
Whoopi Goldberg was the mom for the prince.
and the guy
Yes!
who was
It was so weird. Like, what breeding is going on in this kingdom?
well, and the dad was from Titanic. He was the ship captain, not the
Oh,
captain.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
He's from Alias. Is that him?
I know him as
the-
King Theoden. That's who I know him as.
Oh, no.
Wait, are we talking
Wait,
about
what?
him or
Oh.
the guy who designed the ship?
The one who designed the ship
Okay.
Oh, no.
was the dad,
Okay.
Okay, no.
opposite of Whoopi.
You said the captain. The
I
captain was
did-
King
I was
Theoden.
like,
Okay.
I think so because
Like
I've
the
never
one
seen
in Legally
Alias,
Blonde.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I can't remember his name.
Sorry,
And
we're
then
spacing on these
Yes.
guys'
Bill
names.
Yes.
No.
But no, I just assume everyone's name is
Bill.
Bill. There's a lot of
Bill's a
Bills
great
in my
name.
life.
Bale.
Bale. Oh, Bale.
Oh, Lord.
That
yeah,
was Snooki.
that starts up this week,
Snooki
doesn't it?
Stackhouse for you. Oh, Bale.
We're not going to get into True Blood right now. And I know that starts
Dude,
up this
that
week.
is
but
how they said it in the book when I was listening. She was like, "Oh, Bale."
Christ. I do have to say,
when you're listening to this, it's awful. I was like, I'm laughing. I'm missing stuff.
I'm going to say this. We're not going to throw out any spoilers, but the season finale of Game of Thrones was this past week. And wow. All I can say is wow.
Wow,
What?
Kim rolls her eyes.
What a
wow.
climax.
No,
Kim's rolling
only
her
because
eyes.
he overreacts to everything.
No, okay, I was geeking out. I'll admit it. I loved the ending of that episode. It
Okay,
was
how did
so
Kim
good.
think?
What?
Kim.
It was
how did
good.
You're like, it was good.
I don't get as overly excited about things like TV shows.
And
other
I
people.
geek out about stuff, yeah.
I do too, but I don't watch Game of Thrones, so I cannot share.
Oh, get into it. Get into it. It's so good. I have the first season. When we go and start watching our movies...
Okay.
Okay, in fact, I have the list over there. We're going to start watching them. We're going to get you into Game of Thrones. We'll
Natalie
watch the first...
Dormer is in it, right? Game of Thrones.
She is now.
Okay.
She wasn't always.
Okay,
Who?
because I like her, Natalie
Mhm.
Dormer.
Yeah.
I like her a lot. So.
Yeah, it's a very solid cast behind it now.
Yeah.
I mean, I would suspect that... I mean, he's going to be going up... He's going to be... excuse me. He's gonna be going up against very hard competition this year in the Emmys, but I think Peter Dinklage is gonna win the Emmy
Dinklage.
for Best Supporting Actor. He's gonna be going up against Bryan Cranston and
Is when was True Detective on? Was that this year or last year?
oh gosh,
Because that might win.
Oh, I think that was
That was
last year.
That-
I keep
last
seeing
year?
ads
Yeah,
for
that
it or
might have-
something to own it on DVD.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be up for an Emmy or not, but yeah, that would be a good shoe-in right there. Yeah. Man, True Detective was good too.
I
Yeah.
did not watch that either.
Well, what was awkward was, of all people to get me into True Detective, it was my parents were the first ones to start ranting about it, and Kim was like, "Oh, it's Watchathon. Let's get into True Detective." I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Well, I heard my sister talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
And we got into it,
his
and it was
brother-in-law.
great. But then we're watching some of these scenes, and some of them are, pretty heavy with sex. And I'm like, oh god, I'm watching this show that my parents recommended to me, and it's filled with sex. It's a little awkward, Which, by the way, my sister has the worst views. Danielle, if you're listening, sorry. She has the worst views on Game of Thrones ever. She's like, oh, it's Game of Boobs. I'm like, what? She's like, no. It's just boobs for nerds. That's all it is. I'm like, it really isn't. She said, no, all you do is just tune in and watch boobs. It's
Well,
boobs every week.
That's what True Blood was like season 1.
Yeah.
But and also
Yeah.
like for Game of Thrones there was like this. I remember there was this SNL skit which basically was Game of Thrones as the game of boobs. Like that was the skit basically.
Oh, okay.
So
I think that's just what HBO does for
Yeah.
every show that they have. The first season, they just throw a lot of boobs in it,
yeah.
no
Yeah, I
matter what it
think-
is.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was a spoof of the first season. So.
Yeah.
They're like,
But-
let's sell it.
Yeah, you just have to get past that, and then there's a lot less.
Admittedly, True Detective didn't have that much. I mean, it was much more character driven than I was
And
expecting.
boob driven.
No,
Yeah.
there weren't many boobs in it.
He's like, it's much more character driven versus boobs. They didn't have to put all the boobs in it.
I just have this image of like what they're thinking. It's like I'm sitting there, just talking about the show. Oh, I love the cinematography and I loved the character development. And in Mike's head, tits.
Yeah, probably.
No. For God's sake.
He's like, they need a couple more boob scenes in this.
Anyway, getting off of that, and one thing that I'm waiting for of you to. What? What? What did I do?
You'll hear it later.
Oh, great. I completely missed something there when I was looking over our sheet, and I was just like, wait, what did I miss?
Oh, Kim caught it.
Great. Getting back to our movie news, one thing that you're going to just scream nerd about, but I'm excited for it, is that a Magic the Gathering movie has been greenlit.
Oh, really?
Wait, what is this?
Magic the
Magic.
Gathering?
It's like a
Think like
card.
Pokemon
Are the
cards?
cards-
Yeah.
Yeah, Robin used to play it with
Yes,
me
I
all the
know.
time. Yes.
He's
But-
mentioned it.
Yeah. Throughout high school and a little bit of college, Robin and I would play this all the time. And we loved it.
Mention it.
And I recently bought a free version. Well, I didn't bought a free version. I got a free version of the electronic. I am having
The video
trouble
game of
You have
Magic.
trouble talking
I'm
every
having-
podcast, so
Yeah.
it's nothing new, really.
I'm
so.
sorry.
It's all
Have
good.
more beer.
It's all good.
I got the 2013 version for the Xbox, and it was very good. I mean, obviously you can't get everything on there because it's, they don't have all the cards available, but it was fun. And they're constantly updating it for years and with different cards and different editions, and I think that's pretty cool. Well, anyway,
I have a question.
Shoot.
Like, so how would they make it into a movie?
well that's what I'm going to explain. There is
Oh,
a story
okay.
behind the actual game.
Okay.
And what it centers around is that basically you live in a world where there's these, like, you call them wizards, but they're called planeswalkers. What they do is they jump from dimension to dimension, harnessing the magic of those worlds. And they become more and more powerful the more worlds they jump to, and they recruit monsters and sorcery and enchantments and artifacts to help fight in their battles. So the story will be about these planeswalkers. And Kim is just shaking her head
No,
at
I'm
me.
laughing. It's because you said the word enchantment. That's all.
Enchantment?
Every time I hear the
Enchantment!
word enchantment, I think of Dragon Age Origins.
with the special ed dwarf.
Yes, I'm sorry.
It's
I didn't mean to
okay.
distract you.
No, it's okay. That's okay, because I find that funny as well. But anyway, so that's what it's about. There's, I think, classically about 20 of these planeswalkers. There's been some that have died off, some they've brought in, and when you play the game, you're supposed to be playing as one of them, as one of the planeswalkers.
Interesting.
And there's 5 different types of magic, which is 5 different colors. You have white, green, red, blue, and black, which is plains, forests, mountains, oceans, and swamp. And each of the planeswalkers harnesses a different magical ability from those colors. So that's what they're going to base the movie on. And I would like to see that. I mean, I don't expect them to walk out and start throwing cards at each other, but I wanted to see, how they bounce, looking like Gambit out there, I would like to see how they bounce from dimension to dimension, harnessing these abilities, and how they fight each other. I think that'd
Flip
be
of a
really
card.
cool. The screenwriter for this, they haven't done a whole lot with this yet, but they have picked up a screenwriter, and it is one of the writers and producers, actually, of Game of Thrones, which is Brian Cogman. And he is a very good telewriter. So hopefully he can bring a decent amount to this screenplay. I mean, teleplays and screenplays are whole different monsters, but hopefully he can bring something good to this. Because he's been writing very well for Game of Thrones, and I can only pray he does the same for Magic the Gathering. Now, some people have been very snooty about this because this was bought up by Hasbro a while back. It used to be owned by a company called Wizards of the Coast. But then Hasbro bought them out, so now it's another Hasbro movie being made. So you could claim it's going to go the way of, Battleship or Transformers or I don't know any others that have come out recently. But yeah, it's another Hasbro film. So hopefully it won't be one of those. Hopefully it'll be much better than that, but we can only pray. So I'm excited, and you guys look like you have nothing to contribute on that topic.
Nada.
Nothing. None of you played Magic the Gathering?
No.
No.
Can't
I'm
say
sorry.
I
that
did twice.
What?
And I borrowed cards.
I can never get into those card things.
Card things.
I think I had to be like, well, what do I do now?
Right.
I mean,
This is what's in my hand. Can I play anything?
what about? But you got into Cards Against Humanity though.
That's totally
It's
different.
different. What are you talking about?
Just because that's why I didn't call it a card game. I said card thing.
Card thing. Real nice. Well, if there's no other movie news, if there's nothing else that you guys want to bring up, if you've seen anything recently, if Alison's been reading her Entertainment Weekly, if she wants to bring up anything.
I'm actually like a few months behind.
Oh, okay.
I have a stack in my office. And I'm like, I'll get to it.
I'll
Get to it. And then I'm like, oh yeah, this is already like out in theaters like a month.
I can see if I only get to the stack, tell me about the real Crocodile Dundee. No.
What?
Crickets. Crickets.
Are you saying that she has an Entertainment Weekly from 1980 something?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's the joke.
Again, I think you need some better choice.
Oh, God. We're going to get into the
I
trailers.
think you need to work with the younger crowd. Someone under 50.
Somewhere one of my viewers is laughing their head off, and they're like, we got the joke, Mike. Thank you.
No, we got it.
No, you
I
just...
got
bad.
it. It just wasn't funny.
Thanks. We're going to get into the trailers. The first one we have up is Dumb and Dumber 2.
There he is again. Almost 2 decades and he still comes.
How you doing, buddy? Brought you your favorite candies.
Come on, Lloyd, you gotta get over her. Mary Samsonite was just a girl.
That's it, kid. Come on. Spit it out.
God, yeah!
Wait a minute. So you mean you have been faking for 20 years? And it was all for a gag?
Yep.
That's awesome!
Oh, why don't you roll me inside? We'll get the nurse to take the catheter out of me.
We don't need nurses for that.
But don't you have to...
Speaking of not funny. Perfect transition.
Yeah. So, a little bit of backstory on this. Obviously, we have the first Dumb and Dumber, which, for its time, which it came out in, 92, 93, something like that. When I was a kid, I laughed at it. I had a lot of fun with Dumb and Dumber.
It was just on TV the other day, and I was still laughing
Was it?
at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
But
watched
you
it.
only laughed at it probably because you're like, I remember this being funny. This is a funny part. I know it's funny.
And I watch it now, and it's still funny, but I guess maybe I just consider it more juvenile humor. But it's still not bad. For its time, it was good. This, I don't know what to feel. Because I've seen these actors doing so much other work. I mean, when I was a kid, I'd never
much
seen
better
Jeff
work.
Daniels before. And I was just being introduced to Jim Carrey. So I didn't know who these guys were. Now, I've gone out and I've seen Jeff Daniels do a lot of good work. And seeing him going back into this part, it's like, dude, you know? Like, I've seen him in The Newsroom, where he's fantastic. I see him now, it's like, why do you have to dumb yourself down for this, you know? It would be like seeing Anthony Hopkins go in and be one of the Three Stooges. While that'd be fucking cool to see, I don't know if that would be what I want to see him do.
You're
you know?
like, dude, you're Hannibal.
Right.
Like, dude,
No,
you're
he's
Hannibal.
Odin.
You're Odin. You're everybody else, but not that.
No, right.
You're not a Stooges.
So, yeah, and just like Jeff Daniels is no longer Lloyd. His name's Lloyd, right?
No, Lloyd is
Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure Lloyd is Jim Carrey.
Okay. It doesn't matter. Well,
His
So-
name was Harry.
Yeah. those are- I
Harry,
think it's
that's
Because remember
right.
when Harry met Lloyd?
Right. Which, by the way, Dumb and Dumberer, never watch it. Never watch
I
it.
forgot there was that one, too.
Yeah, that was a prequel, and it was terrible. It was actually borderline offensive in parts. So we won't get into that. But anyway, this trailer, it had me laughing occasionally. You know, and the premise is a little weird. Apparently, which one is it? Lloyd discovers that he has a daughter.
Harry.
And like,
Jeff Daniels
Wait,
is the
Jim
one.
Carrey or-
Harry discovers he has a daughter.
we're not going to call them by their names. We're going to call them Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels
Jeff
discovers
Daniels-
he has Daniels, and Jim Carrey wants to pop her. Cherry.
Wow. Wow. Okay, I wasn't gonna go that far, but okay.
He's on the trailer.
He was attracted to her, but he didn't say, "I'm gonna pop her cherry."
Did you not
Did
see the
you- yeah.
scene with the pillows?
What
Where he
scene?
was like gonna make out with her?
Yeah.
Candles, all that jazz.
Oh, I saw that, but you don't know if she's a virgin or not.
I didn't say she was a virgin.
You
I
said you're gonna
would
pop her cherry. You said pop her cherry.
Oh, I'm sorry, just gonna pop her.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, that's what the basis of this movie is. Jeff Daniels discovers that he has a long lost daughter who's now 19 or 20, and Jim Carrey for some reason has the hots for her. If anyone who has seen Jim Carrey kind of lust over Emma Stone knows that's not too much of a stretch. Oh my God, my jokes are awful tonight. No, you guys are just. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop trying to tell jokes.
The reference was just lost on me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking
About-
about.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
About a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Oh wait, didn't he write something to her?
Yes,
You told
yes.
me about that.
Jim Carrey, for some reason, a couple years ago, was obsessed with Emma Stone, like in love with her. I think it was right after Zombieland. And he wrote these love letters to her, and then put out like a series of videos just professing his love for Emma Stone. And no one knew if it was a joke or if he was just being genuinely creepy. Well, Emma Stone responded as if it was a joke. And then he said, yeah, I was joking around. But everyone's like, no, you were looking like a genuine creeper. You know, she's 20 years you're younger. I don't know if you should be trying to go for that, But anyway, that's the joke I was trying to make. And I'm sorry it went over your head and I'm called the crickets back. I'm sorry. So, what do you guys think of this? Do you think this is just the studio trying to get some nostalgia back, or do you
Yes.
think that they actually have some genuine good writing going on in here? No?
I didn't see any in the trailer.
Right. I mean, and it could be one of those things where they're saving all the good jokes for the movie, but I doubt that.
Yeah, I think we saw them all.
All right. And I have to say some of them were not only not even funny, but they were just like, dude, that's kind of just gross.
Yes.
For example, the starting off with the catheter joke. Okay, I grabbed myself when I was like, ow, but admittedly, that's not really funny. That's just a gut reaction,
Right.
That's something you might see from the Jackass crew. That's not something I expect from Dumb and Dumber. But also the whole thing with the grandmother at the end. Yeah. What's going
yeah, that was a little
on?
gross.
That
like,
was super
is
disturbing.
ooh.
Right.
Like, it was just kind of like, what?
What?
And then
What
the
am I
dust.
watching?
Right. And I'm sitting there like, this joke is not funny on any level. I don't get this. He's not dumb enough to know what he's doing. Or, wait. He's not dumb enough to know what he's not doing.
To not
To
know.
not
To
know.
not know
To
what
not
he's
know
doing.
what he's doing. God, I'm going to drink some more beer. I need my intelligence juice.
Hey, why don't you have some steel Triscuits?
Yeah, I'll do that too. Thanks.
Yeah, that'll really boost your intelligence.
Yeah, I'm just kind of meh about it. I can't say I'm dreading it just because it didn't really give me anything. There's nothing for me to really hate. It's just kind of...
It's just unnecessary.
Right,
I don't
it's
think
just
the
unnecessary.
society was calling for
Right.
a second Dumb and Dumber movie.
You know what it would be like? You know what this would be like to
Society's
me?
not calling for it.
Right. And you know what this would be like to me to compare it to something else? Imagine they came out and said they're making Groundhog Day 2.
Right,
How would
right.
you feel about that?
We don't need a Groundhog Day too.
No, of course you don't.
Exactly.
We just Groundhog Day was good
It's
enough.
just the same thing over and over. So
Right.
It's like a second one.
Right.
You got to do it
So-
again.
Just kidding.
Dumb and Dumber was good as a one-shot funny film. That's fine. 20 years later, we don't need another. I
Right.
mean, except for just nostalgia. These theaters are going to fill up from just nostalgia. People, oh, look, I recognize that.
I don't
Let's
think
go see
they're
it.
gonna fill up.
Yeah, I don't think so
Yeah.
either.
You'd be shocked at how
I
well
know.
nostalgia can sell.
Yeah, well,
But
maybe it just shouldn't.
well, we will see. And I mean, yeah, I don't have high hopes for this. I doubt I'm going to see it in theaters. Maybe we'll wait until it comes out on.
I don't think I
Netflix.
would ever see it.
Maybe not.
If it's free on television, maybe we'll stop and see it or something. But we'll see what happens. But anyway,
Right.
moving on from that, the next one up, we're going to get into a few children's films, actually, because there's a few due out in the next couple months.
Because it's summertime.
First one being...
No school.
Yay!
No school, no school. La, 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 la.
First one being Earth to Echo.
I never understood why people like the outdoors.
Did you hear that? Yeah. Whatever that is, the map goes to it.
We should follow the map.
What was that?
I don't know.
There's something in there.
I have a few thoughts about this. First off, Paul's going to be upset because, one, it's found footage, so he wants to talk about it. But sorry, Paul. Also...
Sorry, Paul, I was here today.
Yeah. I have to say, I
God,
like...
you're like Glory on Buffy.
What?
Oh.
I just was completely lost by that reference. I like how she makes a reference and everyone just squeeze in unison. I make a reference. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Okay, what is this? Please explain.
Glory,
Glory.
From Buffy.
Glorificus.
Uh-huh.
Because she was a god, but she was evil.
Okay.
But
Karen's
she...
not evil.
Huh?
Karen's not evil.
But then she had she wasn't a split. It wasn't a split person, but she took the form of Ben.
Yeah, she like morphed. Ben and Glory like shared the same physical space, but there was like two bodies
or two people, kind of.
Except but it was like dimensional rift almost.
Yeah,
between it.
I can't remember exactly, but they were two people who could not exist at the same time because they shared the same body, kind of. Except it was Ben and Glory, so they kind of she was a woman and he was a man, but like it was kind of they just like she just morphed into him.
I got you.
And like when she does things, he doesn't know that she's doing it. Kind of. And,
fair enough. All right.
And Glory was like my favorite evil. Like she was my favorite big bad. I think liked her a lot. She was pretty awesome.
Okay.
Lots
fair
of
enough.
shoes too.
I have a feeling we went into this in depth back in the Halloween episode that we did.
Probably. In the Buffy episode.
Probably forgot it. I apologize. Getting back to Earth to Echo. Mm-hmm. Now, a few things about this. This looks like a combination of several things, one of them being most notably E.T., obviously. However, it's also a little bit of Super 8, a little bit of...
I was thinking batteries not included. For those people who are old enough to know what that movie is. It's actually pretty cute.
So, a little bit of Super 8, a little bit of Wall-E, I would say.
Wall-E.
And, okay, we'll stick with that. So, we'll stick with E.T., Super 8, and Wall-E. And I bring these up because, did any of you see Super 8?
No.
Okay. Well, in Super 8, the monster, the alien, had this ability to basically turn any piece of trash or metal into some sort of technology, almost like Transformers-like, where things would break apart and form back together to form these contraptions, machines, even spaceships.
Is that the one with the Super 8 film?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where the kids are trying to make their own movie on a Super 8, and then an alien attacks, and they catch footage of it on the Super 8. Yeah. Okay. Well, this creature kind of does the same thing. He's able to take what looks like garbage parts and, other knickknacks around that he sees and build stuff out of it. But also, like, you see at one point in the trailer, a semi's barreling at him, and he can break apart the semi and form it back together. That's pretty badass, Like, damn, that thing's powerful. But also, I say Wall-E because the thing has those big glowing eyes. It gives the big Bambi eyes. I think it's so cute. It looks like a mechanical owl. That's what I thought. Yeah. Big eyes and kind of a thin, cylindrical body. It's like, yeah, it's a space owl.
Yeah.
The cosmic owl.
Cosmic owl, yes. For those of you who watch Adventure Time, Cosmic Owl. But, guys, any thoughts on this? I mean, it is one of the first found footage PG films that I've ever seen. I mean, it's kind of a new thing. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but what do you think?
I think it looks cute.
Yeah.
The little dude is at least really cute. He just seems like really fun, like Wall-E.
Yeah, I mean, and he's fun, and the kids bounce a lot of, surprisingly pretty good humor off of him. Mm-hmm. You don't know really what's going on with him. Obviously, you're trying to get him home, but it looks like one of the kids might be leaving with him. It looks like, he said, like, this is my last message, and you see him, like like maybe on the ship, right next to the ship, like he's going with the thing. Like, okay, what's going on here? You know?
Right, yeah.
So I'm intrigued by this. I don't know if I'll see it in theaters, but I'm definitely intrigued.
Yeah.
And the special effects were actually pretty darn good considering it's a PG found footage film. You know?
Yeah.
Another thing you can kind of compare it to, kind of Transformers-esque, the way things break apart and reform the way they do. It's like, that's kind of Transformers tech, you know? But I'm intrigued by it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, classically, found footage is pretty cheap, but that's counterbalanced by the fact that you had so much special effects in this.
Right.
So who knows how much budget they had for this film. But hopefully they can recoup that. But that remains to be seen. Hopefully this will do well. It has enough in there, I think, to keep kids entertained and also...
And still provide entertainment for the adults that go with them?
Yes. There you go. So
Drunk. Go to bed.
I had that new peach dogfish thing. I didn't
Festina
like-
Petch.
Yeah.
We had that last year on one of the first podcasts, and Paul called me gay for it.
And it's not really peachy.
No, it's not. I like
Really
it, but
fruity.
it's
Very
just
hoppy.
kind of
It's like a beer.
Hmm.
I was expecting more like a Leinenkugels. It was not.
Actually, you remind me of something. We're about a month and a week away from hitting our 1-year anniversary for this show.
Are you gonna
I
have
know.
a super awesome 1-year anniversary
we're-
special?
We'll do something for the 1 year. Yeah, we'll do something.
An extravaganza?
We'll have an extravaganza. We'll try.
Podcast extravaganza.
We will try to get everyone on who's been on.
Oh,
So
wow.
we will do our best to make sure Paul and Karen are in this room at the same time.
So book now.
Yeah, book now for it. Yeah, we'll have
And
a couple.
set up Skype and do all that. Get
We'll
everybody.
have a couple episodes before then, but we'll set up for this big 1-year anniversary soon.
Right.
But anyway, moving on from that, the next film we have up is The Box Trolls.
In the town of Cheesebridge, when all good citizens are safe inside, beastly creatures roam the night.
Box trolls. Box trolls are monsters.
At least, that's what everyone's been told. Welcome to the magical world of the Box Trolls, where one lucky boy lives happily with his unusual family.
This I'm actually really looking forward to.
It looked
Yeah.
adorable.
This looks
This
really
looks
good.
good.
Yes. Now I have to say first off, this is Leica Studios, who, if you've seen the trailer, they've done Coraline and Paranorman, both of which I really like. Paranorman, I had a ball with. It was one of
I
the.
really like
It is one of the best zombie films I've actually ever seen.
Wow, it's
It
good.
is
cute.
We should watch Paranorman sometime.
Yeah, I really want to see it. I haven't seen it yet, and that's one like on my to watch list.
Right. Now, again, this is the stop motion animation, which I've always loved, you know, and now the technology is improving. The lines from, you know, what you get with this stop animation are becoming less and less prevalent. You know, the animation is looking really smooth now, and I love that. And I love the visual sense that you get with these kind of films. You know, Alison had mentioned early on that they're kind of Burton-esque, you know, because, you know, Coraline was definitely like that.
Yeah.
Paranorman had a hint of that. But this studio was originally attached to Tim Burton, but then they spun off from him. And Tim Burton went off and made, you know, Frankenweenie, which came out around the same time as Paranorman. And I liked Frankenweenie, but it wasn't, you know, fantastic. I just thought it was good.
Right.
While the other studio, Leica, was doing... Oh, bless you. While the other studio has been doing great work. And in fact, with Paranorman, I think it was the first time I'd ever seen the first time I'd seen the integration into the special effects of like computer-generated effects with the stop motion. Because you could see that there were parts of Paranorman that had computer-generated effects, but looked beautiful in combination with the stop motion. I'm like, that was fantastic.
Right.
And now we have the Box Trolls, which has a very different visual style than Paranorman. A lot of grays and browns and kind of a dark, dreary world, but still very lively, and it looks very fun. You know, and you have this little guy, this baby just running around doing all this stuff, you know, not obviously a fish out of water story, which is it's pretty natural in kids' films nowadays, but it still looks pretty fun.
It looked
Yeah, it looked pretty good.
Um,
I would probably see. This is out of the trailers that we're going to do today, this is one of the ones which I think I would see in a theater.
Oh, absolutely. And this comes out. A lot of these Leica films come out right around Halloween. They aim for that the late early fall time.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Paranorman came out just before Halloween.
Yeah.
And yeah, I gotta say that I think that's a pretty good time for these type of films. You know, this isn't a horror theme. It's not like Coraline or Paranorman where you can tell it's a definite horror theme.
Yeah.
This is just more cute monster theme.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
And
I know what my Halloween costume is going to be.
oh my gosh, you're gonna see so many kids going out wearing just boxes now. Which, by the way, that's gonna be cute, but it's also gonna be really lazy because you're gonna have those kids coming up asking for candy, like, "Oh, I'm a box troll." You know, just toss a box over his head.
There could be a lot of detail for something like that.
They
Too,
could.
right? It's
They could. They could put like I don't know, like bits of trash on their legs or something.
Yeah,
or,
and the
get their face
designs.
dirty and stuff. That'd be fine.
Yeah.
But if a kid walks up just wearing a box, I'm gonna be like, get the hell out of
Well,
here.
it's probably their parents' fault too.
Oh, which, by the way, we won't get into that, but I hate the kids who come around wearing, like, their street clothes. Like, oh, I'm a hip-hop gangster, yo. Oh, really? Why don't you come back when you have a real costume? That's just lazy.
We know. You don't need to
And I'm not gonna rant. I'm not gonna
rage
rant.
about it. This is not the time nor the place.
Yeah. And we're starting to lose Allison. They can't hear you with your mic down.
Dude, I've been up since like 5 o'clock this morning.
Oh, we know.
Right. I'm just tired.
So,
It's getting dark outside. I'm like, oh, it's bedtime.
well, it's getting darker later, so.
I know. And then I'm like, oh, it's bedtime. It's getting brighter later.
So-
earlier too.
Moving on,
Trust me.
we're going to go on to our final kids' film of the night, which is Paddington.
Hello, I just need to add something to my home insurance policy. Well, what it is we have a guest for the night, a bear, and I just needed some extra cover for any yes, a bear.
And again,
I think this looks pretty cute. Too.
Just, really cute little animation that they have for Paddington here. Now, funny bit that they didn't actually mention in the trailer. Do you know who is providing the voice for Paddington?
Is Paddington talking?
He does talk, yes.
He didn't really talk in the trailer.
No, he made noises, but he didn't really talk. He yelled, but yeah, that was about it. Paddington will be voiced by Colin Firth.
Oh.
Who's also in the movie?
No, he's just the voice.
Cheerio, good chap.
And
then who's
That was a
the
different
dad?
dude. That was a
They
different
look
dude.
kind of similar though, don't they?
Mm-mm. Colin Firth's not nearly as old.
All those British people look alike. Karen looks at me. Karen's like, I don't know how to react to that.
Yeah. She's like, wow.
I
Say something else and I'd have to beat you down.
It's like, I don't know if that's racist or not. Anyway, yeah, Colin Firth will be providing the voice for Paddington, and that's cool. I really like Colin Firth. He's done a lot of good work recently. Of course, most notably King's Speech, but he's been doing a lot of fun.
Bridget Jones's Diaries.
What's that?
Bridget Jones's Diaries.
I never saw that.
Really?
And Mamma Mia.
Oh God, Mamma Mia! I did see that. Sadly,
I did. Yeah.
Oh, I liked it, but you gotta be an ABBA fan.
No, well, I'm not an ABBA fan.
I am an ABBA fan.
I liked it. It was just fun.
Ugh.
Wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah. But anyway, he was also in Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Oh,
which we
that
really
was
liked.
good.
That was very good.
That was really good.
That
And
the cast in
Cumberbatch.
that. Oh my
Cumberbatch
god.
and Mark Strong was in it.
Yep.
Colin Firth, Gary Oldman. Oh
Of
my
course.
gosh. Tom Hardy.
You're right. Just
Am
an
I missing
amazing
anybody?
cast in that movie.
I know I'm missing somebody. Oh, the guy who played the littler one. Can't remember his name.
Littler one.
The littler one who was in Harry Potter as Peter Pettigrew. No, that's not the one. Thinking about another little one. Anyway.
Okay.
Moving on. So, Paddington, we were discussing this just before we started recording. Not a whole lot of us remember the story of Paddington, sadly. Obviously, it's a little bear that shows up in Paddington Station in the UK. But apart from that, we don't know a whole lot more about the
He
story.
wears a red hat and
just-
a blue coat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he always gets in trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
again,
Yes, he was not wearing the red coat and the yellow boots, though.
Yeah.
He was just wearing the red hat.
Right.
No blue jacket, I mean.
Now, if you look at the posters, he's wearing the boots. Yeah,
Is
he's
that the jacket?
Is he wearing the
and
jacket?
yes, and he's wearing the
Okay.
coat in there too.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe it was just in a suitcase because he was carrying the dog.
Yes.
Right.
Because you must carry dogs.
Yes.
That was adorable.
That was
Oh my
pretty
gosh, I
cute.
think there was like a collective squee.
Now, I speak of the poster for another reason.
Oh, brother.
The poster for Paddington. What?
Nothing. What?
Nothing. Keep going.
Continue.
The poster for Paddington has actually gone viral because in the poster, all it is just Paddington Station with the bear standing in the middle of it all by himself, and he's just staring right at you. And a lot of people look at the poster and like, this is actually a very creepy poster because it's just him staring right at you in this really empty station, and they're like, what's going on here? So people have decided to take that picture of Paddington and stick it into every horror scene known to man. You see him standing with the little girls from The Shining, and you see him hitting an axe to the door, and then you see him, like holding the blade in Psycho. And, you see him standing in the cage in Silence of the Lambs. It's like, wow, this is actually creepy, but very, very funny.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have to see the poster.
Yeah, well, I'll show you some pictures of it later on. But, yeah, I've always thought of Paddington as like, to compare it to something else, kind of like UK's Winnie the Pooh. But in a way, Winnie the Pooh is the UK, right? I mean, wasn't Winnie the Pooh?
Know.
But
Winnie the Pooh?
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Prude.
Drink.
Fail.
Is that a new drinking game for our podcast?
Yes.
Every time you fumble
Whenever I
something up?
fumble, I need to drink.
Dude, we should make him fumble all the time.
Yeah. Good.
He will be plastered.
You know what? We should do that one episode. Have a drinking game where we make up rules for all the stuff that we do in a podcast, and we all have to drink when we do it.
Yeah.
Whenever Paul says "gay," he has to drink.
Yeah.
Whenever I muss up something,
Yeah.
I drink. Whenever I make a joke and it's just crickets, I drink twice.
Yeah. Whenever Karen squeezes.
Yeah, she drinks. Whenever Alison drops her mic, we drink.
I didn't drop it.
Okay,
I laid
I'm
it
joking.
down.
I'm joking.
Whenever the Triscuits come up, we all drink.
Yes.
Yes.
There you go.
Damn, we're gonna be drunk.
You know what? In either next episode or the following episode, we're going to make rules and we're going to do that.
Okay.
We are-
Maybe we should have comments from the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about
Like,
that? You guys have been
what
tuning in. Tell you what. You tune in, and any common themes that you've been hearing, whether it's me stuttering or slurring words, or whether it's the Triscuits or
Poison
the
Triscuit
squeeing or whatever it may be, go ahead and bring those up, and we'll add that into our drinking game. So you guys go ahead and name those. So
Make this an interactive.
yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good.
So anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to Paddington. I think this looks quite cute. And
I kind of like. I don't want it to like go and because it looks like it has a potential to just be almost too childish.
I can get a sense of that.
It has the potential to turn into Mr. Bean.
Right.
Oh yes.
Which I
Yes.
don't want it
Like
to.
the Mr. Bean movie. Like,
Right.
Because actually when I saw the trailer, in my head for some reason, like that's how, because when in the Mr. Bean movie, the first one, I think he went to America.
Yes. Yes.
And like,
Now,
and,
I'm sorry not to cut you off.
No, no.
Admittedly, I like the Mr. Bean movie.
oh, me too. I like that too. Yeah, but kind of like the getting on the escalator, with Paddington Bear getting on the escalator and misreading the sign and stuff like that. And I'm sure that Paddington Bear probably got into those shenanigans, in the books too. But then I kind of saw the patterns and was like, that kind of reminded me a little bit of Mr. Bean Goes to America.
Right.
So I don't know.
And hopefully it won't be, like kind of like with the box trolls, it won't be all just fish out of water jokes, because it has a chance to turn into that, and it could, because a lot of the stuff you see him in the bathroom. Hopefully it won't devolve into bathroom humor jokes. Let's pray for that.
I was gonna say what's like a really bad kids movie like Smurfs or something where they just had terrible jokes or something.
I got one for you. Spy Kids.
Okay, yeah.
The first one, the
No,
second one.
I
I bet to say, weren't there
I was
like
gonna say the third and fourth
Which
one.
ones?
The third and fourth one were
And
very.
I just wanted
very
to
bad.
have like an intelligent humor.
Right.
I'm not saying it can't be, because it's obviously for kids and it's supposed to be for kids, but you can still be for kids and be intelligent.
Right,
Yes.
absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Right, and Smurfs would be a good example of that potty humor. But I was thinking of something else. One that came out recently.
I feel like there was one that you were like, we saw something about it and I can't remember what
It might have been the Nut Job. You remember that?
Or like food fight.
Oh my God!
That's a movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Just food fight, not fast food fight.
No. Okay. We're gonna take a quick time out, and we're gonna explain to Allison and Karen what food fight is. So, this came up about 6 or 7 months ago, where this movie it's gone viral. This movie, which has been critiqued by a lot of online critics, and it's called Food Fight. It took the film 12 years to be made. It's an animated film that's been bounced from studio to studio to studio. Now, the voice cast, surprisingly enough, isn't bad. You had Charlie Sheen.
The crazy one?
Yeah, the crazy one.
Hilary Duff.
Was Ava
Longoria. Wayne Brady. Christopher Lloyd. Not bad actors, classically, and, can do some decent voice work when they want to.
Yeah.
This movie, oh my God, it is terrible. Easily the worst animated film of all time. And you watch clips of it, and the animation is atrocious. Now, the movie cost, I forget what they said it would cost, but it was some exorbitant amount. It was like $120 million to make.
Yeah.
Where did this money go? Because it sure as hell didn't go into the animation. Because the eyes never move. It's dead eyes. When they can only look where their head moves. Yeah.
Sorry.
And some of the animation is just creepy. It's to sum up the movie, it's basically about a supermarket where the products come to life at night. So imagine Toy Story, but it's food. Okay.
All food comes
Like the
together at life.
mascots.
The mascots.
Mascots
So you see like Mr. Clean and Aunt Jemima.
Tony the
and,
Oh, goodness.
Right.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing.
Not the licensed ones that they didn't get.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely
No,
not.
there's a lot of licensed ones they couldn't get, and for the ones they couldn't get, there's really awful negative stereotypes of them. Like you see Captain Crunch, and he's like an abusive man who beats everybody. He's still a captain, but he goes around just like hitting women.
What?
Yeah, because like, oh, you weren't in food fights, so we're gonna get this really terrible stereotype. It's like, what the hell?
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just, oh my god, I gotta stop because I'm gonna keep ranting.
It
But
must have just been a money laundering operation.
it was. A lot of people think it was just a big tax write-off. That they just got this money, they got 120, spent about 100,000 on this animation, and booked.
Yeah.
Oh man. But anyway, so moving off of the animation, we're gonna get into a little bit of horror. First one being Beneath.
I'd like to make a toast to the unclean industry that paid for your law school.
Well, coal miner's daughter. You actually showed up, huh?
Gentlemen, we got a lady with us. Let's be nice today.
Anything goes wrong down there, you get her out.
I don't want to keep going into these trailers saying, "Oh, this is a combination of this and this," but
Right. But
this is a combination.
This is,
of
you
a
know,
lot.
yeah. I look at this, and not only is it a little bit of The Descent, but I
Yeah,
also
that's what I was
say,
thinking.
recently Kim and I saw Last Days on Mars. Do you remember
Yeah.
that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do you think this just looks like Last Days on Mars underground?
A little bit, yeah. And it also reminded me of the parts of the remake, My Bloody Valentine 3D.
Yeah, I could see that a little bit too.
When they were in the mines.
Right.
There.
I could see that a little bit too. Yeah. And it looks to me like it's another thing of, oh, where else can we put zombies? And
Yeah.
again, you don't know if they're zombies or not, but they look like zombies.
Yeah, not
and
really sure.
it's like, okay, we've put zombies in space.
At first I thought it was just going to be like a creature, like The Descent.
Right,
because
The Descent.
I thought it showed something hunched over, but I guess that could have been like the shadow.
Right. You don't know what that was, but everything else you've seen looked pretty human.
Yeah.
So
I thought I saw some kind of intestine.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You saw guts on the ground.
Okay.
Yep. So what's going on here, we don't know, but it's just, I hate how cliche the beginning is. It's the father's last day.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Right,
oh, he only had 1 week to retirement.
And her first day.
Yeah, it's like, oh, come on now, really?
Right.
And, and how she's so naive. Oh, my work in the mines has been getting you through law school. Like, oh, okay, yeah. So she's a smart, naive person. She's book savvy. She's not street savvy. Okay, come on.
Yeah.
I hate that kind of stuff.
And then the whole, take care of her, if anything happens to her.
Right.
It's like, she doesn't know anything. Oh, the coal miner's daughter.
Yeah. Oh, everyone be nice. We have a lady today. You know what? If I was her, or if any woman was in that situation, like, oh, be nice, guys. Fuck you.
I would punch them in the face. It's just like,
oh man. But anyway, not only does this look like an amalgam of things, but the horror, I don't know. It looks like nothing we haven't seen before. I'm sorry. It looks like everything we've seen before. Sorry. Change it up real quick. It looks like everything we've seen before. There's nothing here that's genuine. It's just a rehashing of stuff. Substitute the creatures in The Descent for possessed miners or undead miners, and that's what you have here.
Right. Not as far, well, I don't know how far down, but not really climbing.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, the same thing.
Right. Now, I have to say that they're saying that they're running out of oxygen. I mean, I understand they're in a confined space, but
I think they just meant in the safe room.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they had the doors closed and
right.
Zombie creature just breaks their air oxygen tank or something.
I got you.
I mean, and I would think that you would have a limited supply of oxygen, kind of like a lower content of oxygen down
Probably,
there.
yeah.
Concentration.
Yeah.
I
or
got
something.
you. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and that would make sense. What's going to end up happening with this is the same thing that happened in The Descent, where you have this girl who, again, is the naive young person who's out of their element, ends up becoming the ultimate badass towards the end, ends up being, the killer of these things, ends up saving all the men. It's cliche 101, And if they do something original with this, I'll get behind it, but there doesn't look like there's anything original in this.
I mean, while I'm never rooting against a female character kicking ass at the end, ever, because obviously, why not?
Right.
Because I don't watch these movies very often. I don't know anything really about this genre. But hey, even if it's cliche and awful, we get another kick-ass woman out there, I'm all for it.
Fair enough. And I got nothing else to say about it. I really don't. I mean, I wish we could say more again. It looks really generic, but hopefully they'll do something unique with it. If not, I'll be skipping it. I don't know. It looks like everything straight out of the book of cliches. So, anyway, moving on from that.
I'd still watch it.
What's that?
I said I'd still watch it.
Oh, well, no. Let me say that. As horror fans, we go into some really bad movies just because we're fans of horror. For example, past year we went and saw Devil's Due. We know it was going to be a piece of shit, but we went and saw it anyway just because we're fans of horror.
Yeah.
We make excuses because we love our genre that much. Just like fans of romantic comedies will go and see some really bad romantic comedies just because they love the genre that much.
But they probably think that they're good romantic comedies.
What's that?
They probably think that they're good.
No, look, I'm not saying there aren't. No.
I mean, as a romantic comedy fan,
I'm not saying they're all bad. I'm not saying that.
No, I was saying that people.
No. I'm going to stop you right there. We can, even as a romantic comedy fan, I can recognize a bad romantic comedy when I see one. I promise you.
Just kidding.
I'm about to say, you realize she's right next to you, Kim.
I know.
You're within striking distance. So, Getting to our final trailer for the night, which we sadly haven't gotten to yet because it's been out. The trailers have been out for a while, but we're just getting to it now, which is Deliver Us from Evil.
Ma'am, what's wrong with you?
You know this lady?
She's one of my charges. I'm a Jesuit priest. I believe Jane's problem to be spiritual.
You think she's possessed? I'm sorry, Padre. She's going to the loony bin where she belongs.
My husband Jimmy sometimes has these fits where he claws at things.
This one...
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Before I saw this trailer that we watched, I had seen other ones on TV. After seeing the first ones, the shorter ones that I saw on TV,
okay,
I thought this looks interesting. I would like to see this.
Right.
After seeing this one, the longer one, where it actually is more about possession, which I didn't think it was that at all.
Right.
I don't really want to see
it
anymore.
Okay.
I thought it was more about some kind of virus thing that started at the zoo.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Now, and you don't know, but now it's gone into, these people are getting possessed.
Yeah.
Like a virus passing forth and forth.
But I'm just so tired of all of this possession movies.
I know.
They're just so... I just hate all of the quintessential possession scene where the exorcism scene,
right,
and
where
that kind of stuff.
You have one person who's either tied to a bed or tied to a chair.
Right, you gotta hold him. You gotta hold him.
Yeah, and the priest comes in and starts saying
and
some rites,
people.
and then they start speaking in another language or someone's voice. You know, and it's the little girl's voice. You know,
right.
I mean, I don't find possession scary anymore. I don't.
No.
It was scary.
Still do.
What's that?
I still do, but that's because I don't watch horror films ever.
I have a feeling that Karen, unless we did some sort of Exorcist stuff, like had her on a chair right in front of the TV, she would never watch The Exorcist.
No, probably not.
By the way, that's the one exorcism film I will watch religiously, because that is still horrific to this day.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that there aren't good ones.
Oh,
I'm
no.
just getting tired of having to see it all the time.
Right. And the few that I can think of that are good would be The Last Exorcism and The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
What was the one that was recently just out?
The Possession?
Was it The Possession?
Yes. Now, initially you didn't think that was going to be an exorcism film. Until the very end, when the woman was possessed for about 15 minutes, but that was about it. The mom.
Right.
So
one wasn't too bad.
We didn't go in expecting an exorcism film, and when it occurred, it wasn't an exorcism scene.
Yeah,
it was.
it was, but then
it devolved into something else.
Yeah, it was better.
Which was okay, and if scenes were more like that in exorcism films, that'd be great.
Right.
Now in this, you don't just have one possessed person. Apparently, you have hundreds.
Right.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was thinking... Okay, so it said, I know that it just said, based on the accounts of some detective...
Right, inspired by the accounts of blah, blah, blah. Right.
I think that's weird.
Well, yeah, I was going to talk about that, but continue.
Because okay, why don't you go first?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. Based on a true story and inspired by a true story, they can take so many liberties by saying that in a trailer or in the start of a movie. Mm-hmm. For example, they said that I'm trying to think of the film Amistad. Do you remember Amistad?
Yeah, the ship. Right?
The ship that was taken over by slaves and they came to America and they put the man on trial for it.
Yeah, that had Matthew McConaughey in it, right?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, yeah, I did see that.
That was inspired by true events.
Right.
And the movie was quite good. What they failed to tell you in that movie is that the man who was on trial, the guy who had took over the ship, the slave, went back to Africa and became a slaver and died a very, very rich man because he was selling blacks into slavery. But they don't tell that in the movie, do you?
Right.
No. So when they say inspired by true events, they can take whatever liberties they want with it and just make up shit.
Right.
You know, those blinds could inspire me to write a story. Whatever's inspired by true events. So
you saving us from the moth in my sister's car. Could inspire
yes, that could inspire me to write.
A killer moth.
Yeah. I know, Mothra too.
Because the thing is, I feel like this movie could have taken a different direction, in the sense that the imagery and the kind of the metaphor for evil taking over a city type thing, and that is what that's the only pull towards that movie that I would have, because again, I'm not a fan of horror necessarily, but I feel like they could have, like the way that they framed it in the trailer, that it was so much about the idea of possession and stuff. Like, I don't know, like if there was more about the social evils and kind of just like I like the idea. I like it, and as I said, the imagery of a city just devolving simply because it's being run by evil, like,
and that is intriguing.
Yeah.
If they go down that road where it's you see the most depraved in society being taken over by demons because of how sinful their lives are, that's intriguing. I would love to see that movie. Whether or not that's what this is doing remains to be seen.
Yeah, because
it seems
would
like
be interesting, right?
Yeah, right. It would. It seems as though the people who are getting possessed, though, are fairly normal people.
Yeah, that's not.
That's the problem. Like, you see a father who gets possessed, and he's like, he scratches at the walls at night or something.
But then again, like, that actually could be interesting in the way that, did he beat her first? Like, because that was
right.
Like, it was his wife, right? Like, did he beat her first and then he becomes possessed? Because there was
he's allowing like the evil in.
Exactly, allowing the evil in, allowing that to take over him, because he already had was evil, or had that kind of had that kind of tendency.
Right.
Yeah. So if that's the route that this movie takes, I think it could be interesting if you're looking into that aspect of it. But
and that would be, if they were to pump up that aspect of the film, if it was in the trailer, that'd be great. Yeah. The only problem is we don't see any of that.
Right.
I mean, we're all wishing what was in this.
Like, that would just make our own. We should totally do that. We should totally make our own. Nobody take that idea. That's ours.
I remember telling you about the screenplay I wanted to do. I'm not going to give too many details out because I'm still conceptualizing it. The idea of people's sins taking them over. Yeah, I've talked to you about that before. And that's kind of looks like what this is doing, except on a much more grander scale.
Yeah.
And again, this takes place in New York. And here's my only thought about this being inspired by true events. If this is in New York, we would have heard about this.
Right.
New York isn't exactly the most secretive of cities. This isn't Las Vegas, where what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. This is New York. Everyone has cameras. We would have figured out what the hell was going on. Yeah. This wasn't in the 70s or 80s. Yeah. This looks like pretty, last 10 years or so. Yeah. So what the hell happened?
Yeah. But I guess, like, possibly if it's the idea, as you said, it's inspired by true stories, and how it's basically from the... It could, there's so many liberties that they could take. It's probably, like, within police work, you do tend to kind of get all of that. You see the worst in people,
right?
And you tend to get, shaped by what you see, and you see a city devolving because of how long you've been in the business, been in the occupation and stuff like that. So, I can make the connections, I can make the links as to how that happened, but. And so it's not really about, obvious, maybe, real, the possession didn't actually happen, but it's just this idea of metaphoric devolvement. But
yeah,
okay,
that's just,
it goes a little. You're saying that it would go. Not that the movie is necessarily, but in that case, it would be a lot deeper than it.
Yeah, I think I might be giving it a lot more credit. I don't know. I don't know if that's the case.
So we can only
Don't you
hope.
hate when you do that though? You're like, I see this whole deeper meaning,
right?
And then you're like, it actually was never there.
It was just about people getting taken over.
Yeah. It's just like, I hoped it had deeper meaning.
I mean, don't you know The Fifth Element was about class warfare? Don't you know that?
Obviously. Little Dallas Multipass.
Multipass.
Lulu Dallas
But
Multipass.
anyway, we're going to get into the final feature of the night, which is a new feature. We had a couple people asking for this, and it's a pretty good idea. And what we're going to do is have a quick summary of the films that are coming out over the next couple weeks, which we're going to call our feature presentation. So, we have... For now. It's going to be a changing title. We're going to see. I like our feature presentation, but that may change. So, over the next few weeks, there aren't actually many big releases, like nationwide releases, but a couple notable ones. The first one being Jersey Boys. Now, we actually haven't seen the trailer for Jersey Boys, and none of us have seen the musical for Jersey Boys, so we actually can't talk a whole lot about this one, sadly. But I will say, I don't think this movie is going to do that well, considering that this is a summer crowd. I mean, when I see something like Jersey Boys, I expect this to come out maybe late August, in the middle of the fall.
Yeah, fall.
Something maybe targeting Oscar season, or when things kind of slow down. It could do well in that time. Not in the middle of the summer when you've got big, action-packed films and animated films coming out,
I don't know. I think the only thing that I would say to that is that the musical has been incredibly successful.
This is true.
So, I think that might be the only thing that might swing it the other way, just simply because people who've seen the musical wouldn't want to see the movie adaptation.
Right. So, and that you could absolutely be right on that. I mean, it could be them doing let's say the Family Opera came out this time. It's just the name recognizing the name.
Wicked came out.
Wicked, a movie version of Wicked came out this time. I don't care what came out. Wicked would do gangbusters whenever it was released. If they make a film of Wicked.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm pretty sure that if you made a film of Wicked, you'd have to get Idina Menzel in there. Or Adele Dazeem, if you want.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, we got your joke.
Yeah, we
got one of my jokes. I don't have to drink.
No joke.
So, moving on from Jersey Boys, we have Transformers: Age of Extinction. Now, we've all seen the trailer for this. We've seen the previews for months.
Marky Mark.
Yeah, Marky Mark. And I'm not seeing this. Don't care. No. I am done with Transformers. I've seen the first 3 because I was forced to watch them, and unless I am forced to watch it, I will not watch it. I'm sorry for those of you who are hardcore fans of this. I can't take it. Even if it's Mark Wahlberg, even if they've replaced the whole cast, and even if it's Dinobots, I refuse to see it. I have no faith in Michael Bay. Go away.
I might watch it.
Okay.
I might watch it if it's on TV.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to go to the theater
probably
to watch it.
If someone paid for me, I might go, but I don't think anyone's going to pay for me.
If it was on Netflix,
I'm not paying
I
for you
might
to see that.
No.
I barely want to see it.
No.
Nope.
Now, as far as how well this movie's going to do,
Probably
Just get the
do well.
fans
I
of
would
Transformers.
Say,
yeah. Now, here's the thing. Each
People
of these
just like to see big robots.
Right. Each of these movies have cost from about $180 million to about $250 million. Some of these movies are really freaking expensive. But as far as this one, of course, no one really knows the budget yet. They'll release that when the movie's released. Every one of these movies have made at least double their budget.
Yeah.
So I don't think this movie is going to be in dire straits. I would like it to be. I would pray people would stop watching these things. I'm pretty sure they've already confirmed 2 more.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
really?
Really. They're going to make basically 2 trilogies. Yeah. So there's going to be a trilogy with the original...
Is this technically a reboot? Like,
No.
It's a continuation?
It's a continuation, yeah.
Huh.
It's basically the old cast has just gone away, and this is after the events of Chicago in the 3rd one. And now
and then years later.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right. And I'm not going to rant about it. It's basically the exact same plot of the last 3 films, but I'm not going to get into that.
I didn't see the actually no, I saw all 3. I did. I saw all 3. My brother made me watch the last one on Netflix.
Oh, well, I apologize.
I mean, it was a fun time to have, like, just hanging out with my brother and watching big robots. That was fine. Like, it wasn't.
And as just that, it's okay.
Yeah.
But only if it's that. I don't want to see anything else about these characters. Their bullshit side stories about how they have to get jobs, about them going to college or whatever. No.
Right.
Give me the robots. That's what I came to see. Give me the robots. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, getting off of Transformers, the final one we have, which we actually talked about just about a month ago now, which is The Signal. And did everyone here see the Signal trailer?
Yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah, okay.
Because it was us, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think
it was
Yeah.
it was us, and we said it looked. What was it?
You said it looked pretty generic.
No,
like
I said that it looked like a What is that? Indie. It was like an indie sci-fi film. Is
Yes.
what I said it
Right,
looked like.
right.
That's
Right.
it. Yeah.
Which, admittedly isn't bad in that, something like Chronicle was an indie sci-fi film, which, and I said this when we first talked about it, I still think this looks like an indie version of Akira, which I know none of you have seen Akira, but I would love to see that. I can only pray it goes down that road, but I don't think that's what they're going to do. This film has been a real oddity. They have not advertised it at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only due out in maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
I feel like they did a while ago, and then they stopped.
Yeah,
Maybe they just don't have any faith in it.
No,
They're like,
that
okay,
may
we
be.
got bad reviews. Oh,
Yeah.
well, we're still releasing it.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the case, something can get bad reviews, but you can still do a lot with marketing to get in your demographic. Even if it's a bad film, you can get your demographic in seats to make sure it's not a complete flop.
Maybe they don't know what their demographic is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's too broad.
That may be.
Or
That may
maybe
be.
they're
It.
kind of doing the whole mysterious thing.
That could be it too.
Like,
You know what they could be doing?
Because even with the trailer, right? Like, it was so vague.
Yeah.
This
it
is true.
was.
This is very true. You know what they might end up doing? Something like Cloverfield, where it's just all viral marketing. Cloverfield had very little advertisements leading up to it.
Yeah.
But, you could see a lot of stuff online, like found footage stuff and, websites that were fake. They could be doing something like that for this, which I haven't seen any, but that could be how they're getting the word out. But we'll see. I'm intrigued by it. I would still like to see it. Now, is it going to do well? I don't think so. Because, again, we haven't seen anything for it. I don't even think the fan who would want to see this would even know that this has come out unless they've seen a preview.
Right, yeah.
So, whatever studio is behind this, start advertising, please. You have to get the word out. Otherwise, you're going to not be in the top 5 your opening weekend. Do something, But anyway, that was feature presentations, and we're going to wrap it up for this week. I want to thank Alison for coming by and for falling asleep on my chair.
It's normal. Hey, there we go.
There you go. Whenever you fall asleep, you take a drink.
Everybody else takes a drink.
It's like we're gonna be trying to get a drink, just like pouring on a sleepy body.
What?
All right.
Sleepy potty.
I'm taking a drink.
Sleepy potty?
I have no idea what he just said.
I heard sleepy potty too.
Yes, her sleeping body.
Oh!
Christ.
I heard what you heard.
I want to thank Fangirl Extraordinaire for coming by.
Yay!
Yay. And I want to thank the girl next door for coming by. Or Chesty McGee. Or a Celestial Steed. Or whatever you want to call you. And one last thing, again, for all of you on Podomatic. I know it's the third time I've mentioned it. Thank you again for tuning in. And for those of you on Podomatic, make sure you check out our YouTube channel. Because we have a lot of good content on there that you are not seeing. Stuff like our playthroughs of Cards Against Humanity. Another podcast which we actually haven't posted on here called All of Our Hate. Which hopefully we'll get back to very soon. As well as our movie reviews, which we haven't posted on here. Reviews for X-Men, like we mentioned earlier, Devil's Due. And some early films from last year. Definitely go and check them out as well. And for those of you on YouTube, go check out Podomatic. Vice versa. So, thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Have a good night, and take care.
Bye. Thank you.
I can't let you